Welcome everyone to this Wellness Wednesday event with Michael Standish. Michael's here to talk about meditation. You know something about it?
Yeah, I know quite a lot about it. I've been doing it for 15 years and I trained to be a teacher of Vedic meditation in 2017, and I've been teaching since then, various people, and imparting the knowledge of supreme well-being. So that's what.
And what you say, supreme well-being, what does that mean?
Well, in the Vedic context, we believe that when you apply this technique of meditation, you move from the field of thought into the field of being, and within that, that is supreme knowledge. So if you're diving into the field of being enough times, you then achieve supreme well-being, and that's the knowledge of that space.
Yeah, like ultimate.
The ultimate knowledge, the knowledge of the unified field, the thing that pervades everything.
Yes, it's very interesting. There is a field of knowledge, a field of intelligence that you tap into with this practice. Is that right?
That's right. And when you keep tapping into it time and time again by using the non-meaning primordial sound that I give people, these mantras, these mantras are self-refining, and they're there to, when you shut your eyes and repeat it gently in your mind, not outwardly, it's designed to take you beyond the field of thought into this field of pure consciousness, the quiet layer, the unified field, the absolute. It has lots of different names, pure being, pure beingness. And that's when you get to submerge yourself into that area which is your true self. And then when you come back out and you've been immersed in that field, you carry that expansiveness out into your daily lives, and therefore being more relevant in the world. Once you've dived into this and you've felt that bliss field and you're immersed in that and soaked in that and become that which is pure, unmanifest, pure consciousness, when you come back up to the thinking level and open up your eyes, you carry that out into your day, and your awareness goes from being narrowed by all the excitation and stresses that are in the world to releasing them in that field, coming back time and time again. You oscillate between the thinking layer and the pure being layer in the meditation. It's gentle. There might be lots of thoughts, there might be unusual thoughts, we don't analyse them. That's the rubbish going past the window of the consciousness. You release that, you finish your meditation, you're soaked in the bliss field, and you carry that, as I say, out into everyday activity. And the field of your vision goes from being narrowed and blinkered and stressed about life into open up, being calm, blissful, and able to deal with all the challenges that are ahead for every day. But we go back to it twice a day because stressors come in. You can't stop that. There'll always be things coming at you that will have an effect, and not always the effect that you want, and you can feel stress, and this is a place where you can release that stress, lower the heart rate, lower the blood pressure, and release the bliss chemicals within yourself, and bring that up out, and then you start to open up and become more relevant to the world and yourself.
Yeah, it's beautiful when the awareness starts rising with this technique, for example. It just expands. You know, once you experience it in one state or another, for example, meditation, it could be that you experience it, you know, just watching a baby or a sunrise, and suddenly you have this strong feeling of oneness coming together. Just kind of those everyday experiences of awe. And once you have that, you'll never forget it. And then, you know, just once it's, you know, kind of lit, then it just kind of starts expanding into, you know, kind of your everyday life. When you walk, when you talk, and when you act, whatever you do, you act from that place. And you often talk about, what you say is, establish yourself in being and then perform action.
Yeah, that's the old ancient knowledge.
Yes.
Which comes from a central text of Indian philosophy, and it will say, it was applied to a particular individual in the middle of a battle scene, but basically it's saying, establish yourself in that place, being, come out of that, and then perform right action. So we say, establish yourself in being, perform right action. The Sanskrit is Yogasthar Kuru Kamani, which comes out of this text in the Bhagavad Gita in a battle scene. That is the simplest, the shortest way of describing it, of what the actual process is doing. So thanks for that. You know, you want to go into that place, immerse yourself, come back out, and just see what happens then. You'll be more relaxed about what you do, you'll be more tolerant, and you'll have more width to see actually what is really going on for yourself and for everybody else. So you can see stress states of consciousness all around you. But when you meet people who are truly established in being, who have that, been diving into that layer, they generally do not respond in intolerant, irrelevant ways. They start to bring about higher states of consciousness. But as you say, you can get that feeling of that broader consciousness, the higher state, the wonder of things, the God consciousness, by witnessing a child, a baby, and through their eyes or through a beautiful sunset, and you get that feeling. But you can stabilize that feeling, feel it for longer periods, and witness it in absolutely everything. It's not immediate, it's a practice. You do it twice a day, 20 minutes a day, very simple, effortless. This is a perfect instrument to do it with, a chair. Sit in it, close your eyes, repeat that beautiful non-meaning primordial sound that I give out to each person, and then just let go to that. Let it take you where it needs to go, and come back, and then you come back to thoughts, then you go back in again, and you do that for 20 minutes twice a day, and you'll start to feel that bliss layer inculcate your whole system, and you start carrying that for longer and longer periods. Stressors still come, but they get less and less dominant. Stress starts to no longer be in charge or take over in different situations.
Or stress changes phase. It's not a problem anymore. It's a thing to resolve.
Exactly, yeah. And if you feel that too much stress, it's time for your next meditation. Release it, and then feel that bank of adaptation energy fill up, so that you feel not armoured, but you feel well prepared to take on anything that comes your way. No problem. And the real truth is that there isn't really a problem. It's our consciousness that thinks things are a problem. We can always problemize a lot of the things that happen within our daily life. And actually, the majority of it is not a real problem. It's your state of consciousness not allowing to see the way around things, the way through things, a path to the resolution of things. And you can witness that in the world, where there's lots of states of consciousnesses which are corrupt or ill-informed, and irrelevant behaviours happening, and we see it, and we turn the telly off and do something else occasionally.
Yeah, it's that filtering off the noise.
Filtering off the noise, letting go of the unwanted, and bringing the relevant to the surface. Yeah, and I feel like you start being guided by this intelligence that kind of you bring into you, and the choices, like when you go to the shop, you might
grab a bar of chocolate, but it doesn't, come into your behavior anymore because this is not good for me, or the silly example, but just kind of as a behavior, you just kind of gravitate naturally towards things that are good for you, and all this kind of unnatural, unhealthy, reactive behavior and sharpness and kind of I guess kind of reactivity is
sharpness is good.
Yeah, is what I'm looking for, and it becomes more soft and round in corners and
it doesn't make you a blissed out bunny, this.
No.
You don't go, oh, everything's like really cool, man, no worries. You can still say that's not right and that's bad behaviour, but you don't feel as churned up to go, that's not right, I want this not to happen and that not to happen. You go, excuse me, this is not working out and I would like you to perform this way, or I need to change that, I'll perform that way. But you're not fired up in the same way. You're not fired up. We want to cool that fire. It's good to have a good digestive fire, which is Ayurvedic, to burn up all the food, but actually a consciousness fire could be problematic. We want to cool those jets and respond appropriately to everything that we do, and this definitely brings that about. You can, once you've learned it, you can see the changes in other people, and you can witness the change in yourself. You go, God, all those things I used to get worked up about, and they absolutely do not even figure after a while. You just think, was I like that? But there are habitual things. We go through lifetimes of patterns of doing things where the same thing happens and you react. Even when you meditate, you're that wide awareness that I'm talking about slams shut because you're so used habitually to responding things in a certain way. And that's where we upgrade the intellect. You balance the system with this practice, but you have to upgrade the intellect to understand and recognize when you are falling back into those old habits. They will always be there unless you actually, at a certain point, when you see them, you use the intellect to arrest them. You can't just rely on the meditation to correct everything, but it will open up the awareness enough that you start to see them. You go, is that how I'm behaving? And then you start to see on other people, they've got some habitual behaviours that could be easily rectified with settling the nervous system, keeping up a regular practice like this, opening up the awareness and then going, okay, now I can do some changes. That's the groundwork. Very important for everybody. And if we actually, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, who brought this practice to the world in the 1960s, he said, he flew to America and he landed in LA once and he wanted to take the practice there and teach people. And a man picked him up, actually it was a famous actor, but they've never released his name. He picked him up on the road going from LA airport into town. And he said, what are you doing here? As this guy said while he was in the back of the car, he goes, I'm bringing world peace. If everybody learnt this, if everybody did twice this practice, there wouldn't be a fraction of the problems that we see today. If the consciousness wouldn't allow it. But there's an allowance to up the level of excitation, up the level of irrelevant behaviour. We've got to cool it. We talk about climate change and it's getting hotter. We've got to cool the collective. That has a massive effect on the heat of the planet. It's not just cows passing wind, it's a lot of other things as well, especially, let's take some responsibility. Let's cool us lot down across the globe and see how the planet responds to that.
Yes. There is
I'm on my soapbox now.
Yeah, but there is quite a lot of awakening happening at the moment. People are, growing
Absolutely.
more aware of the need to have spirituality in their lives, or just kind of better behavior. I guess, respectful behavior. And there, the spiritual movement is growing stronger and stronger. And it almost feels like it's in response to the opposite forces acting so strongly, because there's always a balance of opposites. So it's almost like the negative and positive, they're kind of heightening that now. There's their power in.
And you could just look within your, one of the great quotes. Not many people. I shouldn't really quote his name. People are not that fond of him. A man who's a psychologist, and he's current. Before you start telling what everybody else needs to do, go and tidy your own room. And I like that, because this is tidying. This is practices. It tidies up yourself. Not just tidies it. It puts it in a good order. And then when you've got that settled, then you might be, you can express some things far better and have far more effect on change, rather than going out in a messy way, windmilling your arms around. We need to tidy our own room first. This is one of the, I find this is a great way to do it.
Yeah, and it matches up really well with the Ayurvedic thinking, as you said. Like, there is that coolness that you need to apply in your field of expertise, and there's a heat that I need to apply in my field of expertise. So
and cool as well with food as well. You do a mixture of the two to get the balance.
Exactly.
It's balancing the doshas in Ayurvedic practice. You have, and he's the expert on this, Kapha, Pitta and Vata, these three doshas, and all the time you're trying to balance those within yourself. And one might predominate at a certain time of year, one might the other. You might need some cooling food or treatments. You might need some warming food or treatments, and that's where you're trying to just create that balance.
Yeah, but be cool, but also be warm.
There you go. That's very good.
That's the Ayurveda in a nutshell.
So this is the meditation that I teach is Vedic meditation. So it comes from the big body of knowledge of Vedic knowledge. It's one of the oldest, largest canons of knowledge known to man, and it includes the Mahabharata. I don't know if you've heard of these books, and the Bhagavad Gita, and the Ramayana, and there's lots of. It comes from the North Indus region, essentially. But this knowledge was widespread, but it got mainly focused in that region due to different warring things and lots of historical things. And out of this knowledge of the Veda and comes Ayurveda, comes ways of treating the consciousness and treating the physiology, how to live your life, live it purely, sattvic, how to be sattvic, which is purity in Sanskrit.
So how do you get into this practice?
I was manic, wired, driving around doing a normal job, but like I was a police car on a chase, trying to get everything done quickly, get the siren on in the morning, I'm out, everything's going to get done, and then coming home and being the same. And a very lovely old partner said after we separated, I've learnt this practice, this might do you some good. So I went to a meditation centre not far from here, which she recommended, and I didn't even listen to any intro talks. I didn't know it was Ayurveda, Veda, anything, absolutely no idea. I just said, teach me. And I learnt, and then my body responded. It said, okay, you're wired, exhausted, you need to settle down. And this is because when you do this and you repeat the mantra with your eyes closed, the physiology starts to realise, okay, this is a time, it's not complicated. You're taking me to a place where I can release, let go, and rejuvenate. So I just went with it twice a day, and gradually everything started to settle. And you still have all the same issues that could be away, but things started to settle, responses changed. And I'm in the film business most of the time, and we can have quite stressful times, quite highly strung people we work for, big production companies who demand a lot, so it could be very demanding. Same as lots of jobs. You know, most jobs have that structure in it, and that transformed and made it more sustainable. What it will highlight when you do it is, okay, this isn't sustainable. Shall I change? Which is in the Vedic writing, change is always happening. So we leap before we get changed by something that might change us in a way we don't want it to. We see things coming, we go, I'm not going to wait for that to hit me. I'll get out the way and I'll do something else. And things started to operate on that level more. And so I trust the process and trust the intuition, which is a far greater informant to yourself than trying to use the intellect. The intellect actually is a fairly poor administrator of actually what you should be doing. Your feeling, your fine level of feeling, when you get in contact with that feels good, I'll go and do that. You go and do it. That doesn't feel so good, don't do it. Rather than weighing things up and thinking it through, you can feel it more. And that's that I started to feel, which made life a lot easier to make choices, do things. I'll go with that fine level of feeling. And the meditation practice allowed that, because my state had managed to de-excite itself. And to a level, when you go around the world at the moment, you'll probably see people on a high excitated state of mind can't make good decisions. You become a poor decision maker. De-excite, then make your decisions. You'll find that those decisions will be far better.
Yeah,
And that was the change for me. I started making better decisions, or actually it taught me to make no decisions. If in doubt, do nothing. You know, there's nothing wrong with doing nothing. See what comes along. You don't have to do stuff. You don't have to do anything. You could just be. You are a human being. You could just be. And then you become much more able to just be. Let it be, as the Beatles said.
And how much happens in that moment, in the being, that it's so inspiring then that you become a teacher.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. That being layer, that beingness is, I don't strive for it, I don't make it a goal. It is a byproduct of doing the meditation practice. You start to move into that area of pure beingness, and then enjoy that. Get up in the morning, see what happens. Don't drink too much coffee. You'll find that the world, is a bit less frenetic for you.
So have you had your bija mantra, or the
Bija mantras.
Monosyllabic?
Bija mantras is good. They're bija,
Yeah,
the sets of mantras that I teach are of a certain type. They of a seed nature, and once you get them, they become personalized, and they grow within inside you. So it becomes like a beautiful pair of your most comfortable shoes.
So all these years you've had the same mantra?
No.
No. Okay, interesting.
No, that's you are given a certain mantra which becomes personalized for each individual, and then there are within the practice, once you start really diving into it, after about a year, you can move to have an advanced technique, which you then move into a mantra that can, you could stay with it for longer. And then there are other ones to move you into different directions. But I taught someone not so long ago, and they wanted an advanced technique. I gave advanced technique, and they preferred where they were. They found that was the one they liked to stick with, and it's, you're not forced to, but you come. If you want the knowledge, and if you want to expand on different things, the knowledge can go deeper and move like a beautiful river. It goes to different places. You can start taking on the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, which is, they're a different thing within the meditation, but primarily the one that I give is the one that will de-excite you and move you into that space of transcendence. And you'll get those benefits of releasing bliss chemicals, being in the bliss field, and altering yourself to be that more relevant human being in all ways, to yourself, to the world.
So you practice morning and evening?
Very simple.
Yeah.
In a chair, when you wake up, cold water on your face, go back, sit up in bed, most comfortable spot. You can sit like this, as long as your back's supported, because you can let go. You want to be able to let go. There's no forced postures. You're not sitting like that. You're not doing mudra. That's another thing. These mudras, they're for different things. You can sit there in a relaxed pose, generally like this, really. I don't know. And then you close your eyes, and after a very short amount of time, because you have the intention of saying your mantra, you just allow it to bubble up to your awareness, and you just repeat it gently, ding dong, ding dong. That isn't one, that's just a sample. Ding dong, ding dong. And it refines, it could be, you could use that, and it gets fainter and fainter. Although if I said ding dong, I'd think of my mum. She was an Avon lady selling cosmetics, and that's the ding dong of the bell. So I always think of her when I say it. So ding dong, and then it refines, gets finer and finer. You transcend, and then there's a release of stress, and then your mind will come back to thoughts, and then you go, I was thinking about what I've got to do at work, for the family. I've got to pick up my mum. I've got to get shopping. It's my meditation time, and then you just gently pick it up again, and it moves you into that bliss field, pure consciousness. You dive in. We're dyeing the cloth of ourselves in that field, and then after 20 minutes, if you do the course, we talk about the techniques of how you do it, when you do it, the things to look out for, to do with food and to do with timing. It's a 4-day course, roughly an hour and a half each day over 4 days. So you'll go away and meditate on your own, come back, we talk about mechanics, you go away and you meditate on your own, you come back, I talk about stress release, and go over the previous days, and on the final day you come back and we talk about states of consciousness and the previous days. You leave with a practice that you can do twice a day, get all the benefits, and if you want to know more, you can always come back, and if you don't want to know more, you can just do it forever on your own, the perfect way you want to do it. And then I do free group meditations every Sunday online at 6. I'm going to start doing them maybe at the apartment in Notting Hill, but the online is really handy, which we've discovered in COVID, because people are in their apartments, different parts of the country, and it's so nice, even online, to come together, see each other's smiling face, maybe ask a couple of questions. I'll say a few things about what's in, maybe in the Vedic text, and talk a bit about some of the Sanskrit meanings. Nothing too deep. We meditate within half an hour to 45 minutes. You had a nice little group thing, and then that sets you up for the rest of the week. And then there are quite a lot of meditation teachers, Vedic meditation teachers around the world, and you can join any of their group meditations for free, which is a really lovely thing to do. If you're in another country, you can say, who's a Vedic meditation teacher here? And get in line with their that time zone. And I have a wonderful, supremely knowledgeable master who taught me to be a teacher. So the lineage is, this knowledge is ancient. And then Maharishi Mahesh Yogi in the 60s developed it so it could go back to householders. So we could have this practice, go out to work each day, come home, and you do it in the evening, when you come home in the evening, or late afternoon at work, if you can squeeze it in, which I always used to do. I'd sometimes just turn to the wall and put my computer back in 20 minutes and just close my eyes and do that. And people leave you alone, it's very odd. But it's good. And Susie and I used to work sometimes at lunchtime, find a spare room before lunch. do our second one then, so you get the full benefit. Yeah, and then you've got all these, where was I before, the group meditations around the world, and then advanced courses that you can do. It goes, the knowledge is so extensive. I've been doing it for 15 years. The basic practice is what you need. I would let go of everything else to do with the knowledge, just to have the knowledge of the practice. If they said that's the sacrifice, I need the practice. Then, but it does expand out into this very vast body of knowledge, which you can pick up, and it will enlighten you even more.
And I like the simplicity of it. It's just, meaningless mantra, which has a meaning that it's meaningless, because it doesn't bring you anything in your mind.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that thought processes that come, the shopping and the, chores and everything that can kind of, you stop it with something that doesn't bring into your mind anything about your daily life. It just kind of fills in that place conveniently, so that you can just kind of go deeper and deeper and deeper. But whereas if it's a ding dong, then you think about, oh, mum, there's an association and a connotation to someone. Whereas my mantra, the only connotation is you. Oh no, I believe you.
That must be blissful.
So the only thing that comes into my mind from that is when you gave that to me. But other than that, it helps me just kind of, the simplicity of it, it's just brilliant. And then you can't tell it to anyone. Huh?
No, you're not allowed to say it outwards. What we learn in private, we keep private.
Yeah.
And the potency is in that. You shout things out in the world, it all loses its strength and its potency, and we want to keep it strong. And it amazes me, actually. I only have heard once or twice of someone telling their partner what their one is. Couples, together, when they learn together, might be inclined to go, what did he give you? Or they go, oh, ding dong. Oh, I've got ding dong too. Whatever. But because I give everybody ding dong, by the way.
Yeah. But once you reveal it to someone, then there's an association. Then immediately that might bring, oh my God, I told it to that person. And it, again, kind of interferes with your descent into that bliss state.
That space.
So that's the kind of magic and the power of that mantra, is that, you keep it to yourself. It's your special thing, and it gives you power because only you know it. Yeah. I like that.
Well, they are ancient, non-meaning primordial sounds. They're vibrational. They have that quality in them to self-refine. And I enjoy that they are primordial and that they're ancient. I love the idea that they've moved through the passage of time. They were there from the inception of the planet to come into us, and they're vocalized in a way that we can say it. They might mean something in some part of the world, but nobody's actually come up with any meaning that that I know of. Yeah, and they're resonant vibrational sounds. Beautiful things. And when we train to take these things on, I have them, so I give you the relevant one with different set of criteria for all of you, and then I give you the one that I've been trained will be the best for you.
So you do these trainings at home, but you also do a retreat with us.
Very good point. It's been very lucky. I have a home which I could give these mantras out in and teach people, but we last year at a beautiful place called Wraxall Yard in Dorset. Actually, a lady who was meant to come with me tonight was one of the judges for the architectural competition.
Goodness.
Ros is gonna, and she's going to come down on the retreat.
Wonderful.
And it's a beautiful converted dairy, amazing rooms and comfort, and you have these two wonderful people to look after us and beautiful treatments. And on that long weekend, you could do the learning there. It's not only getting to learn the practice, you're learning it in a wonderful environment where you get to fully let go and devote your time to that. it's an opportunity, you know, if a really lovely opportunity. And I think everybody learnt, was the first year last year, as far as I know, I have 2 people who regularly attend the group meditations online, and a really good response to doing it in that type of environment.
Yes.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I did it with my partner, and the effects were felt in our dog. Because the whole household just kind of, and suddenly the dog started behaving better, which was brilliant.
Animals
You
love
know,
it.
as the awareness, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
expands, it starts this kind of captures everyone, you know, everything around you.
Well, they'll sense it as your vibrational quality changes by using the mantra. Your event horizon starts to change, and so that proliferates to everybody amongst you. And one of my examples, which I find, you know, I'm not say I was any guru status, but my boss, who I've worked for many years, would say, please come into this meeting about something that I know nothing about. And I go, well, I know nothing about that subject. She goes, I don't want you to say anything, I just want your presence there to do that. I don't know what it is, I just want you there. So I'm just there, just smiling, hoping nobody's going to ask me a question. But it, you know, those type of things, you know, those type of people sometimes have it naturally. They come into a room and they deflate that maybe heightened atmosphere, the edginess, and you know it with the people that heighten it. And they, you know, those people definitely need to come and learn to meditate, because we want to have that feeling when we go into spaces that we're all welcome. And Wraxall Yard is one of those wonderful spaces.
It is a special place. It, as you mentioned, was shortlisted for the best building in Britain last year. And it's a beautiful combination of nature and architecture all together. They kind of melt into one place. There's kind of that fluidity of the space where you can kind of really easily expand your mind and experiment your spirituality, because it so well kind of embraces you into that kind of natural state of being, where the nature is a natural state.
And you do your treatments, which is brilliant.
Yes, and we do treatments, body treatments, and obviously the Ayurvedic daily rhythms, and we have beautiful food and different kind of healing opportunities, yoga therapy, yoga nidra, sound baths, sound healing. What else?
Is that,
sauna. Yes, a visit to the seaside sauna as well on both days.
If you like that, that was great fun.
Yes.
Great fun. I mean, and then you have the choice of doing that, because if you're on that type of weekend, if you're feeling that you're, you know, releasing some stress and you just want some quiet time, it's quiet and relaxing, and you can, you know, have that opportunity to really, really let go. I mean, that's more profound. You know, I would say that is a more profound experience if you've got a stressful environment that you're going home to every night, or not just stressful, just very busy. This is the opportunity to be not busy and to immerse yourself in yourself and the larger self.
Yeah, it's like in Ayurveda, healing always happens when you get in a place of rest. And when you linger in that state of rest for a longer time. So massage is great, it lasts for an hour, but then you're out of the door and, you know, there's the traffic. But, you know, these kind of retreats are really brilliant opportunities for healing in many ways, not only learning a meditation technique in this retreat, but also just to kind of rewind and kind of solicit that intelligence in the body to, okay, we should be relaxed. We should be circulating fluid, we should be digesting better. So all those things that body knows how to do, but because our urban lives, they just kind of put stop on that or slow it down. So they kind of just being in a place of calm and peace for longer periods of time just kind of does quite a bit of influences the body's ability to self-regulate or heal itself.
Yeah, you don't have to take on all the daily chores. Someone else is doing those for you.
Yeah.
So that's...
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Enjoyed having you here again.
Thank you very much.
And look forward to seeing you at the retreat.
Be down there. And as you say, with the retreat, I'd like to add, you know, you have some wonderful people come to do other things, to do the sound bath.
The yoga
to
teacher,
the yoga teacher is amazing. Francesca
she's
from Italy.
so wonderful.
She's amazing. She is an embodiment of that kind of bliss consciousness. And so people just love being in the same room as her. Yeah, she's got it in, you know, in spades. So you can come and relax and do a bit of that in the morning, then go and do the next day of to listen to me and understand that teaching. Then you can have a treatment, then you can relax, you can take a short walk in the beautiful surrounding countryside and let go, and someone else is preparing the food. I like that. And so I'm normally a chef. And so, beautiful place to be and to be. A beautiful place to be.
Thank you.
Jai Gurudev, as we say.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
Any questions?
Yeah. You don't have to think of a question. But if you have anything, have you done anything like this before? I'm going to ask you a question. Have you done any meditation practices?
I try and meditate every day, even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes.
Brilliant. And what do you do for that? Is that a...
Sometimes I do it via a guided meditation, like, you know, you get the apps. Sometimes I just do it in silence. Sometimes I do, like, last few weeks I've been using like kirtan meditation, so it's like a chant. And sometimes I just do breathing, like on breath work.
Yeah.
So it kind of varies.
And Fridays you're here.
And Fridays I come here.
Oh yeah, you do the Friday morning one. Lovely. Enjoying that?
Really good.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Well, you know, this is a longer practice than probably the more, you know, the other ones you do. And I say it's a regular, you know, 20 minutes a day. You have to become disciplined, but it's not difficult, because once you start feeling the benefits, then you naturally go to it, because after a while, if you don't do it, you then go, it's a bit like having a day without, for me, without a glass of water. At some point I'm going to get thirsty and I need some water. And then at some point I'm going to want to meditate, and the body lets you, and your mind lets you know, this is the time I need to keep that going. Do you enjoy the other ones you do, or are you looking to go deeper and do something a bit more?
I find it quite hard to get into it.
I think you'll find this easy and effortless, because you don't actually have to do anything. You're not looking for anything to happen. The whole meditation is not goal orientated. We're not looking for any outcome. You are allowing nature to do the work by just using this mantra, and all you have to do is sit comfortably, close the eyes and repeat it. You just need to, the reason we do it over 4 days is you need to know how to use it properly and know what the experiences are, know what's happening to you, because changes do happen, and know where it's sort of going. And those an hour and a half over those 4 days allow that. And then I spot each day, because you go and do your meditation on your own, and then you come and see me later, and then we talk about your experiences, what's going on, is this okay, is that okay, it's really noisy outside, is noise a problem, I've got, you know, my head start twitching, what's happening, and we go through all that. So by after 4 days you feel completely relaxed and at ease with what's happening, because it is a profound change, but it's easy to do. That's what easy and effortless.
And gives consistency to life, you know, because you know what to do. So there's no like, what should I do today, or should I do this practice, or should I do that? But you know that this is your rhythm, and this is your this is the practice, and it puts the mind at ease, because you know exactly what's going to happen next. So they're kind of guessing games, like, although it can be fun, you know, to do different techniques, but there is that effect on the mind. When you know what's happening next, the mind stays calm.
Yeah.
Or calmer.
Yeah, you know, we still, you know, you're not going to stop stressors coming your way. and the mind is a snaky thing. We're not trying to tame it, we're trying to let nature guide us in the right direction. Easy and effortless.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can we get you some chai or